You probably recognize this game and its Snowy Slopes. It is one of the most critically acclaimed mobile games of all time and is one of the most downloaded mobile games ever as well. As a kid, I remember going into my local JB Hi-Fi with my mum and dad, and while they were talking with the underpaid millennial worker about how their DVD player isn't working, I would rush to the iPads and play this game with all the other kids. This is Alto's Adventure, an absolutely beautiful game that completely captivated my mind. Recently, I rediscovered the game and fully completed it, unlocking all the characters and upgrades. So, I would like to show you why I love this simple endless runner in an ocean of endless runners. Our story begins in 2012 when lifelong best friends Ryan Cash and Jordan Rosenberg decided to create a new game studio in Toronto, Canada. They had always loved to create things, playing and creating together since elementary school, and so they made Snowman Studios. But their first app was not a game. It was a productivity reminder app called Checkmark, released in 2013. Initially, they believed that video games were not worthwhile to pursue, so they focused on creating apps and programs for work. But they loved playing video games, constantly playing games like GoldenEye, Halo, and CSGO together. However, in the early 2010s, mobile gaming started to really take off, and they soon noticed that their dream of making their own games wasn't far-fetched. So after Checkmark, they created two games focusing on simple yet intuitive gameplay, Circles and Super Squares, which both released in 2013. However, for some reason, there is literally no trace of these games left on the internet. I can't find any videos of them, any gameplay, or any pictures. It just says they were made. All I can find is some websites that have a bit of information and links to now private YouTube videos. Anyway, after these games, they decided to go back to Checkmark and remade it into Checkmark 2, a newer version of the app that fit more with the iOS 7 art style. They then followed this up with another productivity app, Shifts, which helped manage your work shifts for you, released in 2015. However, these apps and games were not what they had in mind when they wanted to make games. So in 2012, while they were still developing Circles, Ryan and Jordan approached British artist Harry Nesbitt about creating a 2D endless snowboarding game. Ryan and Jordan both had a love for skate and snowboarding, and after Jordan got addicted to a mobile game called Tiny Wings, they soon wanted to make a game similar to the feeling of snowboarding. Harry's art style had immediately popped into Ryan's head when he was coming up with concept art for the game, with its simple and minimalist aesthetic. Snowman first started by showing some concept art of the game and ideas for the visual feel of it with Harry. They also agreed it would be best for Harry to have complete artistic and developmental control over the game. Harry was initially skeptical as he had never before developed a game and only had basic coding experience, but it was too enticing of a proposition to pass up on. Soon, Harry agreed to be part of the project and Team Alto was formed. Initially, Harry used the Coco's 2D engine for the game, the same one used for Geometry Dash, being able to create a playable demo of the game. But Harry found that the engine was too restrictive for what he wanted, as it didn't allow him to implement all the features and visual complexities he had in his mind. So he switched to Unity, which allowed him to implement parallax backgrounds, procedurally generated terrain, and scarf physics quite easily. The game's music was developed by independent artist Brian Crawford, and the sound effects were from Kapow Audio. The game took big inspiration from 2002's Journey and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Being annoyed by the overly complicated controls and trick systems in other games though, they decided to make the trick system in Altos as simple as possible by trying to restrict the controls to a simple tap and hold on the screen. They also avoided goals in other endless runners that they found uninteresting and boring, such as running forever in a straight line with nothing to do but run. According to Ryan in an interview, he stated, "A lot of runners have uninteresting and repetitive goals that you have to beat, and a lot of the time they're negative. When I say negative, I'm referring to those goals that are like die between 700 and 800 meters, or the goals that require you to spend money. We tried to make our goals really fun, so if you're stuck on a goal, at least it's one that's fun and not something that's annoying." When making the game, they also tried to avoid placing any ads or microtransactions in the game. To Ryan, this felt like cheating and ruined the purpose of the game, as he believed that you should only be able to upgrade and progress by pure skill and not by cheating. The game was initially meant to come out in September of 2013, though they reflected that that was a bit too ambitious on their end due to inexperience and other factors. So after 3 years of development, Alto's adventure was released on February 19th of 2015 for the iOS for $2.99, and ported to Android later that year for free, but with some in-app purchases by Noodle Cake Studios. After release, it garnered universal acclaim from reviewers, and reached the #1 spot on the App Store for paid games, and was nominated for multiple awards. It was praised for being an extremely relaxing and calm experience, and for its incredibly beautiful art style, being rated a 92 on Metacritic. To this day, it has gotten over 30 million downloads. Now onto the actual game. You play as Alto, what I can presume to be a South American boy, and in his sleepy stupor, his llamas escape from his farm. Being the good farmer boy he is, he chases after them, skiing down the mountain. Now, these llamas had to be very fast llamas to escape, or there has been a mass breakout of llamas everywhere, because the further you go down, the more and more llamas you find than were originally in the farm. As you continue down the mountain, you will travel through different areas and biomes. These don't really have official names, but I like to call them the village, ruins, forest, and plains, and they all have their own special features somewhat. The village is the best one by far. There you will find llamas in pens that are somehow yours, and more bunting and roofs to grind on, which is all incredibly dense and helpful for tricks. Next is the ruins. Here the only thing different are the campfires, which are needed for certain quests. Then finally, there are the forests and plains. These have no special things about them, they just exist. However, regardless of where you are, there will always be some basic features, such as ramps, bunting, ravines, and giant cliffs. As you go down the mountain, you also can do tricks and jumps, which is the primary focus of the game. You can do a basic backflip, as well as a 15-trick streak, jumping over a massive ravine to grinding on bunting, doing a triple backflip down a cliff, jumping on an extremely bouncy rock, and landing on a campfire. There's literally no limit on how many tricks you can do. The only thing stopping you is the procedural generation deciding to spawn a massive hill at the bottom of a cliff, messing up your whole run.
Surprise, motherfucker!
However, the main purpose of these tricks is for the quests given to you. Each level you will be given 3 quests. They can range from basic tasks such as doing 2 backflips consecutively, to advanced trick combos such as doing a rock jump backflip to grinding on bunting. As you progress through the levels, you gain access to more characters and abilities. There are 7 different characters and they all have their unique quirks. We have Alto, Maya, Paz, Izel, Felipe, I love this one, and Tupa. The character I used for the majority of the time is Izel, because she makes you fly at ridiculous speeds. Tupa is also great, an elder who has every ability in the game, and Felipe, who can double jump. There's also different upgrades for the gears that you can buy in the workshop. Firstly though, before you get any money, you get the money magnet and levitation feather for free. These are pretty self-explanatory. One attracts money towards you and the other one levitates you above the ground. Later in progression, you will be able to buy the wingsuit and the llama horn. The wingsuit allows you to glide down the mountain or just fly, while the llama horn will spawn a stampede of llamas for you to collect. I love Felipe's wingsuit especially, she even has a little eye mask. Alongside the actual game, there is also a Zen mode, which is just a free runner where there are no advancements or dangers. It is purely made to relax while flying down the mountain. I love this game. It is one of those games that is deceivingly simple, but is absolutely beautiful. The mechanics of the game are so simple, at most you are using 2 fingers to play this. But even with only 2 fingers, it is able to make the gameplay engaging and entertaining, and keep it that way for a long time while you play. Usually the only 2 buttons you have to press are the main one that makes you jump and spin around, and the wingsuit button to save your ass if you f**k up on a jump or for extending combos. I also love the things to do in this game. As I explained before, each level has goals you have to complete in order to progress, and these goals give each and every run a purpose, which I feel is missing from a lot of endless runners. The runner games in 2015, such as Temple Run and Hill Driving, the only purpose of each run in the game was going as far as you could, collecting coins along the way. And this is okay, but it made the gameplay loop feel uninspired and repetitive, which dulled my early interest in these games quite quickly. And the quests they gave were just to collect enough of a special item for a lackluster reward. But with Alto, I found myself enjoying each and every run, even if the goal was only scaring away a few birds. But even after you complete these goals, you find yourself wanting to come back and continue and see how far you can actually go. And there are still things to do beside the goals in the game. You might have noticed in some of the gameplay beforehand that there's somebody chasing me sometimes. Every 1,000 meters or so, you in your stupidity will wake up an elder. These blokes, unhappy about being woken up, will chase you down the mountain, and if you get caught, they will whack you with a stick. Only after crossing a ravine will they stop following you, and you also have to continually do tricks in order to gain enough speed to escape him, otherwise he will catch up to you. It's all these small little things that are added into the game that make it all that more enjoyable, because instead of you just dodging things coming towards you, something else is actually chasing you, which makes the world feel that much more immersive. And the Elder is an actual threat, not like other things chasing you in other games, such as the monkeys in Temple Run or the cop in Subway Surfers, because as long as you don't hit anything, they can't catch you. But with Altos, you have to continually run away. The trick system in this game is also one of the main highlights and why I keep coming back to this game. It feels so incredibly fluid for its simplicity and actually feels rewarding when you land a completed set, incentivizing you to continue and make even more risky sets. And the better the set, the faster you go, until eventually you're flying at 50 meters per second, landing tricks over hundreds of meters. My favorite character to use for tricks, as I stated before, is Azelle, and as I stated before, she makes you go flying, and after every set, the longer it is, the bigger the speed boost, and Azelle makes this even faster with a rocket booster strapped to the board. They also have a faster rotational speed, allowing you to do more tricks in a shorter space of time. However, the main thing I love about this game is the art and music. Harry Nesbitt's art style is absolutely gorgeous and lends itself well to this style of game. Its minimalist feel combined with the mix of warm and soft colours creates a calm feeling where you just can't help but get lost in the simple trees, the red-roofed cottages, or the rolling mountains in the background. They have this overpowering therapeutic effect where no matter what's happening, the game is relaxing, even if you just f***ed up your final set for the goal. And the music of the game adds to this feeling or therapy. It's almost as if it hypnotizes you into this world. It also has the perfect balance between the highs of snowboarding and the calm and simple joy of the sport. From the simple intro jingle to the complete soundtrack while rushing down the mountain, it's all so enjoyable at every stage. These both combine into making this feel like a dream-like experience, seeing the orange sun slowly rise over the mountains to wake a sleepy mountain village. And I find myself coming back to this game again and again, even though I fully completed it. It's just the perfect mobile game. There are other mobile games that have complicated mechanics and beautiful gameplay, such as my all-time favorites of Arknights and the soon-to-be-released Enfield. God, please be good. But when I have free time and I am just waiting in line for something, Alto is what I choose to play. Not because the other games are any worse, but because it is perfectly simple. Something where you can jump in for a few minutes and come out feeling better than before. It's not a massive time sink. It is what every mobile game should strive to be, a simple 10-minute adventure. After the success of Alto's Adventure, Team Alto developed a sequel to the game, Alto's Odyssey, which was instead set in the desert. It keeps the same basic gameplay, but adds a few more features to make it stand apart from its older brother, such as wall running, water physics, and tornadoes. And around the end of 2015, Ellie Kimet, I don't know how to pronounce that name, joined the team to help with the development of Alto's Adventure and Odyssey and around Snowman Studios in general. Odyssey received similar praise to that of Adventure, but didn't reach the same heights, but is still an enjoyable experience, and in some places better. Later in 2022, the team released a remastered version of Adventure with a few more features and newer characters for the iOS. After working with Snowman for the Alto series, Harry moved on to creating his own studio, Land and Sea, which is developing a new game similar to Alto's called Summer Hill, a story-driven puzzle adventure game. Snowman also started to develop new games such as Skate City, Where Cards Fall, and Lucky Luna, with their new game Distant in development. Their team has also grown from just 2 to over 40 employees, with some starting another studio called Pok Pok, a game studio creating thought-provoking games for kids, though both Snowman and Land and Sea still consistently collaborate on new games together. Altos is a beautiful game. If this video has told you anything, it is to please try out Alto's Adventure. It is a simple game that doesn't need your full commitment, but will demand it from you. It's free on Android and only $3 on iOS, and is also available on multiple other platforms, including Steam, where you can get both Adventure and Odyssey. It's so worth your money, even if you only play it for a little bit on and off. It's a perfect simple game, so please just give it a small go. Alto needs to catch his llamas.